You're watching Biz One-on-One with Randy Lennon.
Joining us now on Biz One-on-One is Brad Trumble. He's the CFO of Vyland Media. And Brad, you come to Vyland Media after being out of the media business for a few years, but you're actually a pioneer in the whole cable world. So tell us a little bit about your history with
everyone
television.
has a claim to fame, right? I like to think that we all have those little markers on the wall that we like to say those are the things that we're somewhat famous for. One of them I think that everyone can relate to is the fireplace you see on television. It was actually invented.
When you say the fireplace, you're talking about at Christmas. I mean, we're in Canada here, and Christmas comes along, and now it's become a tradition. You turn the TV on and put the fireplace on, but this is now all over the world.
It's an idea that took off. And what it came down to is people at the cable television channel in Edmonton wanted to have that time off on Christmas Day. No one wanted to be there to plug tapes, because this is what you had to do back in the day, was line up your 3/4-inch tapes one after the other and play your programs.
Now this goes back to when you were a programming director of a community access television
station, Videotron Cable in West Edmonton.
Okay.
So the guys came up with a brilliant idea that said, look, I'm going to videotape my fireplace at home. They put it on a 1-hour, 3/4-inch tape, which in truth was about 59 minutes long. They'd put the tape in to a VTR. This thing would run as 59 minutes, and then it would take 2 minutes to rewind and start again.
Now, what happened now when people tuned into Channel 10 and they're looking, they go, this is just a fireplace?
Well, it was so cute. We got people writing us letters, because you wrote letters back then, saying, what's coming up next? And then we had all these, how about an aquarium? How about an aquarium of fish? It was an interesting idea. So we did I thought, some leading edge kind of ideas back in the day.
Now this fireplace story, that's become, a standard thing now around the world at Christmas time. And of course now there's so many unlimited channels. You can actually have a channel
devoted
just
for
the fireplace for Christmas. In Vyland Media right now, in the distribution side of the business, there is a whole series about cats. Do you know about this?
Yes.
So this has become standard fare. So what is this series?
Well, unbelievable. There's a whole series devoted to nothing but, yes, absolutely, the antics and the uniqueness that cats do. I mean, let's think about this. The #1 YouTube video being posted is all things cats. Cats do weird things. So this is obviously playing into that. I mean, this is the world that we have today of the universe of programming, is you can get just about anything that your heart desires. And even within the Vyland Media of programming is a real broad, it really demonstrates a broad base of programming. Again, this is they call it non-scripted programming. This is almost like reality TV to that extent. It's very broad and very wide, and I think appeals to a huge audience. Is this going to be main run television material? Perhaps not, but there's always a home for that type of programming. People are always interested in that type of thing. I mean, even to watch yourself, there is the gravitation at home. Do you always want to watch the top-rated #1 programming, or are you pulled away occasionally by the Discovery Network, the History Channel, the Travel Channel? These are the things that are showing. This is what we saw back in the day when cable television first evolved, that cable really initiated that and brought that window of musical programming, visual programming, to the world.
You're a business guy. You've got your MBA, and you're also an accountant, and you've also been the president of this company within a large corporation, and you've also been in an entrepreneurial world. What do you see? Like, what's coming next? How do businesses adapt?
That's a very large and very involved question, but there's really, in my mind, sort of two parts to it: delivery or content. So you're either in the business of finding unique ways of getting what it is that you want to people, or you are what they want. You are the content side. They used to talk about this when websites first evolved, that everybody had to have content. I mean, in other words, they had to have a reason to go there.
Yeah.
And they talked about richness. That was a key word, was richness of content. Is there stuff that's valuable? Is there any reason for me to even go to your website? So I think you're either in the business of developing content, developing material giving stuff to people that are looking for it, or you're on the delivery side. You're making it easier for people. You're driving trends. You're driving this stuff towards people.
And in this new world, in the television world, the quote-unquote television world, because what is it now? Is it, when I watch on my phone a YouTube video, I'm not really watching television, but it kind of is television. Like or how about if I watch an NFL game, which is the highest quality of production value and some of the most expensive content licenses, and I pay a fee or I participate in whatever it is, NFL Network, and I'm watching it on my phone, or I'm watching highlights of it. Is it television or what is it? So even to even say, is Viland a television company? What do you think?
No, but Viland is in the content business because we're going to drive ourselves out there in that context, because where you get it, I mean, we're old enough to recall we think linearly too much.
Right.
And it's nothing personal, but maybe against your age, but we think linearly. We think of the cable-driven subscription. We think of the television delivery. But you just mentioned several random access ways of being able to establish yourself with the same content thanks to off-air, thanks to the internet. But again, it's going to come down to, why am I doing that? Because I want to see the content. I want to see the NFL game. I want to see the video on cats. And so Viland is perfectly placed as a gatherer of content and as a potential creator of content to play well within that game, because there's always going to be that demand for programming. People are going to want it and they're going to access it.
In the early days when you and I were first getting in the business, there was a quote, "Content is king." And it's never been more true than today with the unlimited distribution capabilities of all these different ways of delivering content. So great to get a little bit more of your insights. Brad Trumble, the CFO of Viland Media. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
You're watching Biz One on One.